I grit my teeth. I can't afford for this to go badly. Good morning. Is this Mrs. Gipper? Yes, who is this? Says the ferocious reply. This is Sian calling from World Review. We need your opinion on the Earth's rotation and whether you agree with it. What are you selling? Her rage is barely hidden now. Oh, we're not selling anything, but if you would like to know more about the Earth and how many men it takes to push it around the sun, we have a catalogue that explains. The click is audible. The computer screen shows that she is hung up and is calculating another stored number to call. I moan audibly. My desk mates ignore me, their backs hunched over, voices earnest and quietly desperate. Some of them have hardly any limbs left, and Tony on the next table is just ahead. One more bad call, and he joins the ones on the ceiling. Before the next call goes through the system, I feel the telltale tingles in the one limb I have left, my right arm. I hold back tears as flesh and sinew loosen, and the body part that's been faithfully with me for almost 22 years slips painlessly away, leaving me nothing but a torso and a head. My one chance to earn myself back is a run of perfect calls, and once that's done, I'm getting out of here and never coming back. The screen flashes before me and my stomach melts. I can't pronounce that name, which means they're understandably angry before I've begun. Good morning, I begin cheerily. Is that Mr. Zabberbley? Mr. Zapperbley, he corrects coldly. I shut my eyes and will myself to continue. I do apologise. How do you feel about termites' nest, Mr. Zapperbley? Show you can say his name correctly. The rapport battle is not yet lost. Were you aware that the majority have not sought planning permission? They haven't. He sounds genuinely shocked. My heart flutters. No, that's true. They just begin building wherever they feel like it. I'm improvising now. I know the script on the wilted paper before me so well that I don't think this will do any harm. Bloody immigrants, he growls. I can almost hear his teeth gnashing. That's it, I think. You get angry at those immigrant termites. Yes, and we're releasing a pamphlet that explains just how you and your neighbours can... A pamphlet? The sharp note of doubt has invaded his voice. I know he'll be lost if I don't reel him back in. Oh yes, but you don't pay at first, you see. No, what you do is... I can't do that, he replies simply. He doesn't know what he can't do, but he can't do it. To be honest, I don't blame him. I wouldn't do it either. In fact, I would have told me to piss off. But the part of me that can see those on the ceiling and then looks down at my disappearing body is furious with him. Well, it's not a decision that needs to be made now, you see, and that's the beauty. No, I'm afraid I just can't, he cuts in. And I think I can hear giant ants attacking next door's cat again. Bloody ants. The click is the axe slicing my body away. I sit, a torso and a head, just waiting. It begins painfully slowly. Whoever is making this happen is enjoying themselves. I catch the eye of one of the supervisors as they strut between the tables. They survived the calls. Now they offer commiseration to those who watch themselves disappear. Some are genuinely troubled, and others offer weak advice whilst trying not to laugh. The one who looks into my eyes now is the one I've always trusted. There's nothing he can do to stop the process except pretend not to watch. My body shivers as though it has the worst kind of flu. My teeth chatter. My head tips forward involuntarily. I can feel the tendons lose their grip on the rest of me. One long, intense shiver and my head falls onto the desk, alone and unprotected. My body slides to the floor with a heavy thud, where it's then removed by one of the supervisors. The supervisor bends down to me. Do you need a break? No, I say through gritted teeth. I'm fine. He looks uncertain but continues past me, holding the useless lump of meat. The computer has bleeped and it takes me a moment to react. The voice in my ear is already saying hello in an irritated manner. Good start, I think bitterly. Is this Mrs. Lampen? Yes, who is this? I hope her voice is naturally shrill and not just hateful, so I launch into my script. Were you aware that when water evaporates from the sea, it is absorbed by clouds? Oh my. Her surprise is a good sign. Yes. It isn't even distributed amongst the poor in this country, or even the taxpayers. It's all taken and kept by clouds. Again, I'm improvising, but I feel it's a point that can be layered on thickly. Now, we're issuing a pamphlet that raises awareness of such things and tells us how we can stop it. Oh, that's marvellous! She's on my side. I'm ecstatic. If my head could do a dance, it would. I've told her the bit that usually makes people angry, and she's still interested. That's right, and we can have it sent on subscription if you just answer a few questions. I continue almost breathlessly. Now, how much does a soul weigh? Ooh, she thinks for a moment. I think it's 21 grams. Yes, I shriek. Several red-rimmed eyes glare at me. They know the excited tone of a person who's getting a sale. Right, now, who is this? The person now speaking to me sounds like a big burly man. Where is Mrs. Lampon? I need to speak to... You need to bugger off, he told me with absolute authority on the subject. She's 95 and she gets 50 pamphlets sent here every day as it is. Now, I wish you vultures would just piss off. Before I can try to bring him on side, I can hear the deadly click. I hold my breath, and I'm not sure where it would go anyway, since I no longer have lungs. I feel the tingling, this time in my brain. I look around at the others, though I know it's useless. They'll all pretend that they can't see me for fear of jeopardising their own positions. The tingling becomes an unbearable fuzzing, and I know I'm disappearing. I'm leaving my body. I feel a lightness, a weightlessness, and I wonder what all the fuss was about. I distantly notice the back of my head brush against the ceiling, and I'm surrounded by other shadowy figures. Excuse me, is that Mrs. Jarron? The one nearest to me whispers. The others are repeating similar phrases over and over, shades of past phone calls endlessly whispering. I feel a mild interest in speaking to Mrs. Lampon. Excuse me, is that Mrs. Lampon? The supervisors are looking up at me. Is that Mrs. Lampon? Should get rid of some of them, says one of the supervisors. Excuse me, is that Mrs. Lampon? I watch them fetch the hoover from the cupboard and wonder if Mrs. Lampon will answer the phone. The end.